Hi, I'm Craig Grant and this is Cobweb Maths, and today I'm going to talk about bandwagons. I'm actually going to talk about the problem of bandwagons. Now these are the main points you need to consider first. Teaching is a multi-dimensional activity which involves many factors. That's quite important. The next thing you need to consider is everything matters because everything is connected to everything else. That's important. Now I'm going to give you what I would call a pivotal example. There was a city with a parking problem. They enacted a bylaw which required parking space in new buildings. Well, that fixed the parking problem, but there was an unintended outcome. They ended up with gridlock in the city centre because they had too many cars. What had happened? The planners had failed to consider all factors, so there was a problem. Now, I don't know if you know anything about this guy, Edward de Bono. Now, he's really good because he's done a lot of research into thinking and thinking exercises, and I've used his findings and his exercises, so he's worth looking at. Now I'm going to focus on bandwagons. Bandwagons are common in education. And this is what I think. They are driven by one-eyed men and women with tunnel vision. So that means they just head in one direction, loaded with people, only to disappear into pitfalls their drivers cannot see. Now that, ladies and gentlemen, is a tragedy for everyone. For what the drivers see matters. Now, Joe Boella's book, Mathematical Mindset's a bit like that. Current research finds that the mindset approach makes no significant difference. I would have to say that I found her book excellent. It helped me immensely. I found that we're basically on the same page. However, we're going in opposite directions. We're like a railway line. She's going south and I'm going north. And I thought about all this and I thought a CAF was needed, which was consider all factors. One of de Bono's things that works quite well. Right, we'll get up the next thing. What is it? Right. So this is what I think the critical factor is. The nature of belief is the critical factor. It hasn't been taken into account. What we have to do in this case is change students' belief that maths is hard and difficult and they can't do it. And what we need to do is we use logic and miracles to change belief. Now, understanding doing maths easily is a miracle for many students. That's the miracle, right? When they can do that, it changes their belief that maths is hard and difficult, so they can't do it. Right, now let's look at the mindset approach. The mindset approach, I think, puts the cart before the horse. The mindset approach focuses on students, and it focuses on changing the student mindset, and once they change their mindset so that they think they can do maths, then they'll be able to do maths. That doesn't work, right? My approach, it's down here. Make maths simple and easy for students to do so that they can all succeed. And then they will believe they can do maths, and it is not as hard and difficult as they thought it was. And you do this every lesson. Now, I will briefly go through my approach. Right, these are the elements in my approach. I've got a 3-step lesson plan. When I talk about the steps, it takes me 3 steps to get into my blackboard. In those 3 steps, I formulate my lesson plan. I'll go over that later on. These are the things I do. I start with small steps and concrete concepts. Right? I use thinking person and everyday genius questions. I review teaching sequences, I use feedback, I use flexible planning, and I consider all factors. In terms of my mindset, I consider myself to be the shepherd. My students are my flock, so I look after them. You love your flock, you're the shepherd. I'm also a Special Forces teacher. What do Special Forces teachers do? Well, first of all, they leave no one behind. So, I leave no student behind. That's what I aim to do. Also, Special Forces are well trained and they have quite an arsenal of weaponry that they can deploy, and they choose their weaponry carefully for whatever mission they're going on. Alright, so consider all factors. It's very important. I'm asking these questions all the time. Where is the class? Where do you want them to be? What's the mood? That's the mood of the class. What's the best choice? Where is tail end Charlie or Charlene? Right? I focus on the bottom student in my class. If my bottom student in my class is getting the work done, that's fine. But you have to also look for where are the fast trackers, right? You don't want people sitting around twiddling their thumbs. I've worked out a nice system where everybody's working virtually all the time. The slowest person in the class and the fast trackers. And that's where thinking person questions and everyday genius questions come in. And then I'm using feedback. Right? I'll go into that later on. I'm asking, what next? What's the best choice? What's the outcome? What am I looking for? Right? It's calf, 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 calf. I'm doing that all the time. Right? I'll give you more details on this in other videos. And we're done.